I'm going to just go and start reading into the story, and Adam can get this video queued up. Hey, son of a bitch. Here you are. See what, and this is for you, Rico, see what a Virginia Beach jury saw. Video shows what happened to convicted driver of manslaughter in DWI marijuana case, you guys. Ooh. It was a crucial piece of evidence in what could be a landmark DWI manslaughter case involving marijuana. Because no presumptive standards exist for marijuana impairment, the jury in the case of Nathan Poole, 26, had to rely on video captured shortly after he ran over 2 women with his pickup truck. And now 10 on Your Side has the surveillance and police body cam video that was shown to the jury. The fourth Monday of August 22nd was a happy afternoon for Rosa and Concepcion Blanco until about 4 p.m. The cousins were celebrating Rosa's recent birthday at a Tulupo Honey restaurant in Town Center, and people had just picked up a dress for his girlfriend at David's Bridal. The 2 women had just left the corner restaurant and were on the curb preparing to cross Constitution Drive. Several vehicles passed, making the left from Main Street, and they entered the crosswalk. Poole's Chevy Silverado pickup struck both of them with his grill, running them over completely. And Rosa Blanco, 76, was killed instantly, and Concepcion Blanco, 79, had life-threatening injuries and spent the next 5 weeks in Centra Norfolk General. In a quote, "The light had just turned green," Poole told an officer. "I looked at them, I nodded, I looked down the GPS for a half a second." Poole told another officer who specializes in DWI arrests that he smokes marijuana, and she began giving him enhanced field sobriety tests designed to look for indicators of marijuana use. That officer testified during the trial that she has made more than 500 DWI arrests, and Poole did well on some of the tests, but failed others, including heel to toe, standing on one leg, and touching the tip of his nose. At trial, a toxicologist testified that Poole's blood had high levels of THC, the psychoactive substance in marijuana, and the THC and other compounds would have significant adverse effect on attention, judgment, and reaction time. But that expert doctor couldn't give an opinion on whether she thought Poole was too high to drive, because unlike the blood alcohol threshold of 0.08, there is no equivalent standard for blood marijuana. That was up to the jury to decide, and Poole was in fact impaired, convicting him of a DWI manslaughter and a DWI causing serious permanent injury. Poole faces up to 20 years at sentencing in August, and both the lead prosecutor and defense attorney said this is an important verdict, but it would be up to the General Assembly to establish a standard for impaired driving when it comes to marijuana. Yeah, that video.
Let's go to the video.
Yep.
What the jury saw in an important case last week in Virginia Beach. The jury convicted 26-year-old Nathan Poole of DWI manslaughter in a case involving marijuana, not alcohol.
Because there is no standard for marijuana impairment, the jury members had to rely on body cam and surveillance video to decide whether to convict. Investigative reporter Chris Horan has that video tonight and follows up on the trial he covered beginning to end.
This is the intersection where 3 lives were changed forever. The 2 victims, one of whom was killed, the other permanently injured, and the man who ran over them with his truck. We're going to show you what happened, but we'll stop the video before the point of impact. It was the 4th Monday in August 2022, and until about 4 p.m., it was a happy afternoon for Rosa and Concepcion Blanco. They were celebrating Rosa's recent birthday at Tupelo Honey restaurant. Nathan Poole had just picked up a dress for his girlfriend at David's Bridal. Check the top of the screen, left of center. The 2 women are on the curb. The first vehicle passes, and the women then start across the crosswalk. Poole's Chevy Silverado pickup is next. He strikes both of them with his grill, running them over completely.
315, notify 301.
Rosa is killed instantly. Concepcion had life-threatening injuries and would spend 5 weeks at Centra Norfolk General.
I looked down GPS for half a second.
Poole tells a patrol officer he smokes marijuana. That officer testified during the trial that she has made more than 500 DWI arrests. Poole does well on some field sobriety tests but fails others. 9 steps, heel to toe. The heel must touch the toe behind it in a straight line.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Standing on one leg and counting starts out well for Poole, but then he fails on the counting.
1,020, 1,021, 1,022, 1,033, 1,034.
At trial, a toxicologist testified that Poole's blood had high levels of THC. That's the psychoactive substance in marijuana. The THC and other compounds would have significant adverse effects on attention, judgment, and reaction time. But that expert doctor could not give an opinion whether she thought Poole was too high to drive. That was up to the jury, and they decided Poole was in fact impaired, convicting him of DWI manslaughter and DWI causing serious permanent injury. Poole faces up to 20 years at sentencing that's scheduled for August. Both his defense attorney and the prosecutor say this is an important case because we don't have a standard for impairment when it comes to marijuana like we do with alcohol. In Virginia Beach Town Center, Chris Horn, 10 on your side.
I'm your retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still.
All right. This is a sad
commercial
story.
to run right after that.
Oh boy.
This is super sad, man. My question. I mean, was he texting too?
It does. There's no mention.
Like a blind turn.
There's no mention of texting, and this is why you don't discuss your day or admit to things, because he basically said that he had smoked cannabis. You know what I mean? And so he said that he wasn't impaired at the time, but he said that he had smoked, and so and that's how he ultimately got this conviction.
Yeah, this is all kinds of messed up. Jesus, like I don't know if there's any silver linings in this. Dude should have just shut up. He should have shut up.
Know the script.
Yeah, there's all different kinds of other things that you could talk about, like that were not mentioned. Like, was he on his cell phone? His truck was big as fuck, man. Like people who drive big ass trucks like that, they are a hazard, especially if you're driving in the city, because you can hardly see over that hood. You got 2 little old ladies crossing that crosswalk there. That could have been impairing his sight to actually see them too. But you gotta shut the hell up, man. You get.
Dude, that was so sad. That's like one of the saddest things that I can ever imagine. And yes, like absolutely, you got to shut the fuck up. We all know that. You can't say, "Oh, I smoke weed." They're gonna absolutely use that against you. If you smoked cannabis and you unfortunately did that, I mean, look, the guy's gonna pay for his actions. It's all gonna come around to you if you're just like being reckless out there. But still, that guy does. I mean, look, my heart goes out to this guy because I can only imagine he was on his cell phone, he was doing something, and that's just the most unfortunate accident. And like, what a crazy situation. But yes, it is a very important case, because if they use the defense that, hey, he's a cannabis user, he's a patient even, then that puts a lot of other things at risk, I think, too, because if it goes, obviously it's going to go, it went poorly. I mean, any appeal at this point too for this guy is going to probably end with the same conclusion. And it's always going to just be this pejorative thing toward cannabis and driving. And now we're going to have an uphill battle. And also we know that there's specific technology coming out to help, the law enforcement deal with, high driving, as they call it. We'll see how all this goes, but just shut the fuck up if you get pulled over by a cop.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to say, my condolences to the whole family that lost their lives. I mean, that's people's moms and grandmas and aunts and whatnot. And so want to make sure that we are considered I don't think there's any winning side in any of this.
There's no winning side. I don't agree, Simon, that it would have a chilling effect on medical patients, because even medical patients who use other medications, not cannabis, are still required to understand whether they are capable of operating a motor vehicle or heavy machinery while under whatever medication it is. Again, too much agreement kills a good conversation, so I'm always going to try to find the place where we're not aligned. This is terrible, and it's terrible for this family, and it's terrible for the woman who lived, and it's even worse for the woman who didn't. And it's also really sad that we've been trying to crack a code on the science that would allow for a measurement of the difference between ingestation versus intoxication, the difference between impairment versus exposure, and we still don't have that science. And so I'm feeling kind of playful and fun today. I'm gonna trust that the jury got it right and that there was facts. But until we have those scientific standards, my concern is not just for victims of impaired driving, but also for drivers who don't have clear guidelines about how that can be empirically measured.
Well, at the same time, when we watched the video, I didn't really think that the guy was impaired when he talked,
but he couldn't count, dude. 1,022, 1,033.
Bro, you can't expect anyone to do 1,000. That's the most dumbest shit ever, bro.
I get it. He's nervous. He's nervous. He just watched somebody die.
You're not gonna. You know what I mean? You're shooken up, like your nerves are shot.
Yeah.
All of that, bro. That's not.
That's
not. Just like asking people to say the alphabet backwards. Like no one can say the alphabet backwards.
We have no idea what kind of education this guy has. So
I can't say the alphabet backwards.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't say the alphabet backwards sober.
But here's an interesting thing. Ben LeBone in the chat, he brings up a very, very interesting fact, and I wonder if his attorneys use this, and I'm sure that they probably didn't, but maybe they could use this on an appeal. But it says, appears his truck goes from sunlight to shade as he conducted his left turn. Plus, the ladies were short with a tall truck.
Yeah, that was exactly my point. It was like, there's so many other factors that could have gone into this, but because you opened your mouth and you said like, oh, I was just smoking marijuana, blah, 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 like you killed yourself. You put yourself in jail. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Right. And not only that, you have given the failed policies, the failed cannabis policies that were handed to Glenn Youngkin on a silver platter. You just gave this motherfucker a lifeline that he needed right now, because he can go hard on. This is why he didn't move forward, because of stuff like this.
Yep. Where you got to protect the people from situations like this. You're so right about that part, Rico.